What is going on, guys? Samuel Devies here, and I just recently started playing Kingdom Hearts 3 again, critical mode, and voice bitch, but lately I've been in Kingdom Hearts mood again, so today I'm finally here to discuss my top 10 favorite boss battles from the Kingdom Hearts franchise. Now, if you focus on my top that I did on my top 10 best Kingdom Hearts story moments, the reason I didn't include boss battles on it is because, well, there are a lot of memorable boss battles in the entirety of the Kingdom Hearts franchise, so that would be hard enough to this. So I thought I'd do a separate list where I discuss my one list, which I did do my favorite story modes, which is on my channel if you want to check that out. That's actually one of my favorite videos that I've done. And my fifth one, I'll be telling my favorite boss battles. There are a lot of incredibly memorable fights in the entirety of the Kingdom Hearts franchise. So, all in all, I hope you'll enjoy this list. Always let me know what would be your favorite battles from the Kingdom Hearts franchise in the comment section down below. So, not being in the bush, let's get started with the list. Kicking off the list number 10, we have the Scar and NPC fight from Kingdom Hearts 2. Now, you're definitely seeing a lot of fights from Kingdom Hearts 2 on this list because they do have some of the most memorable fights in the entirety of the franchise. And this fight is one fight that I always enjoy coming back to whenever I want to replay this game. Like, I don't know what it is, honestly, but this fight is just, it's because of how unique it is. At first, you just end up fighting Scar on a lot of random Heartless, and then you end up trying to fight an NPC where you have to try to dodge Scar, who's a kind of a giant now, and straight above his legs, and all that. Then you have to get rid of his walls, and then you're trying to shoot his then you shoot this beam over there, like right past his friend, like you have to do as much as you can before the wall and come back to reality. And opinion, like, that is actually very unique and definitely makes the fight more tense and more fun to play through. So again, if I ever want to play Kingdom Hearts 2, this is the fight I always love coming back to. At number 9, we have the Oogie Boogie fight from Kingdom Hearts 1. Now, I'm not just debating between the fight in this one and Kingdom Hearts 2, because they both are great boss fights, but in terms of pure enjoyment, this is the one I really enjoyed the most. I mean, also both time fight Oogie Boogie and Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 are pretty difficult fights. Especially the second one, like, man. But the first one's always, again, it's also a very unique one where you're trying to press the right button at the right time, to right hit Oogie Boogie while also trying to dodge his contraptions, and it definitely leads to very tense moments, especially trying to fight Oogie Boogie. Because you get the second portion where you're trying to find this giant Oogie Boogie while trying to attack these dark blobs, basically trying to climb up platform on them, which is also fun and creative and all in itself, honestly. Yeah, this time also do in both portions of the fight, and it makes the fight very memorable, fun, and definitely one of the most difficult fights. I mean, the Oogie Boogie one in Kingdom Hearts 2 is definitely an incredibly difficult one, and the one, I mean, definitely a very hard one, especially in critical mode. Best fight all around is still great and definitely is worthy of being on this list. And speaking of difficult fights, at number 8 we got the Riku fight in Hollow Bastion from Kingdom Hearts 1. Definitely one of the most difficult fights in the entirety of the franchise. Like, I remember when we got to this fight, like, I remember it took me and my workers forever to get through this fight, and considering it plays on the PS2, which has unskippable cutscenes, yeah, that definitely wasn't fun, especially when we had to watch them play the cutscene over and over again, so yeah, that definitely wasn't fun. But the difficulty is actually what makes the fight very memorable, especially since it's one of the things that impacts all that you learn from the game in terms that also in the corridor and where you're at in Hollow Bastion. You gotta try your best to dodge and hope you're lucky that you can dodge his attacks. He's very agile attack and all that, and screaming like don't goofy with you. Just, yeah, this is a fight that's just good. It's definitely gonna be fun, but it's incredibly difficult, and that alone is why this fight's on this list. Definitely one of the most difficult but most rewarding fights, especially with with Sora Keyblade things. So, still an amazing boss battle. And number 7, we have the final boss Ansem from Kingdom Hearts 1. Yeah, I chose this title's going to be on this list because, man, Ansem has pretty much most fights in RPGs. A lot of stuff are usually like very long and have like multiple extensions. And again, like with Riku fight, this one's definitely very difficult, but at the same time very rewarding, especially how hard you get through these sections. And they can make sure you are very prepared for this fight, especially when you fight for this giant Ansem with like no shield, then kind of like a spear, and it kind of sort of this giant thing. And once then, like, he is so rewarding. It's definitely fun, especially if when you're trying to beat him and you're struggling so much to try to beat him, and it's that rewarding when you end up beating him. Like, I remember so like, yes, when I first beat him. Like, again, like with the last boss fight, difficulty is definitely what puts on this list because of how rewarding it is when you beat him, but it's still fun, highly enjoyable, and definitely kind of tense at times actually, so that alone, all that stuff is what puts this boss fight on this list. At number 6, we have the Xemnas, Young Xehanort, and Ansem fight from Kingdom Hearts 3. And I'm sure most of you expect a lot of the fights from the Keyblade Graveyard portion be on this list, because this puts on the most epic moments, on the most emotional and passionate moments in the entirety of the Kingdom Hearts franchise. And entirety of the Kingdom Hearts 3 in general, I could have pretty much every boss fight in now on this list, but I want to be fair on this list, but I'm only having 2 on this list, and the first one is again played by Xemnas, which I'll definitely get to later, Young Xehanort, and Ansem. And the first time we rolled the Ansem list was like, I know people complain the Kingdom Hearts 3 be too easy, but even when I'm playing, I remember really struggling with it. I know a couple times where I even almost died actually, or I think I did die at one point. And it's definitely very rewarding, like all the stuff you have to go through with trying to guys, long have Riku by your side, trying to dodge these attacks and trying to be agile and all that. It's just so rewarding, and it's just so fun to find all of these classic Kingdom Hearts villains and all in one sitting. Like, that is definitely impressive, so I can mouth on that. Now we are in the top 5, and coming in to number 5, we have Skyx and Xion from Kingdom Hearts 3. The second on this list, and here goes the emotional thing while Rox coming back is probably why his mom's on this list, but this moment's still a fantastic fight nonetheless. Like, I'm trying to dodge through Skyx's attacks, and Skyx's always been like a tough cookie in the Kingdom Hearts franchise. And do what mind just fighting Kingdom Hearts do? I thought so, but he's never toxic, especially when you have Axel Kai by himself for the first portion. You find this mysterious person who he is, and it's obviously to be Xion, who, you know, was a major portion of the DS game Fury Days of 2. And then you have her and Rox is by his side, and that one's awesome, and Arm by 6 is great. I think from the emotion of what happens during and after battle is kind of why it's on this list, but all in all, this is still an amazing run on the list. At number 4, we have the Chara-Bonk Gongoyo fight from Kingdom Hearts 1, which happens around in the End of the World area. And now, if you're talking about Kingdom Hearts boss fight, this is the boss fight that's always brought up in terms of the best Kingdom Hearts boss fights, and it really doesn't see why. Not like, I didn't remember until playing Kingdom Hearts 1 that I forgot how great this boss fight was, because man, this boss fight is very memorable. I mean, it's only very difficult and very challenging, but it's also having fun and trying to, and also getting challenging, trying to dodge his attack, and seeing that you're flying on air. You have to really rethink on your strategy and what you need to do when fighting this fight, which doesn't happen truly often, but it's definitely a great and amazing fight to experience in terms of challenge, in terms of difficulty, in terms of pure enjoyment and memorability. There's so much to really love about this fight. Again, there's no wonder why people remember this as one of the best fights in the franchise. Like, at number 3, we have the Axel fight when he plays Roxas from Kingdom Hearts 2. So there's only like one thing on why this moment is high up on this list. There's only like one single thing on why this moment is high up on the list. Because it could be just something that means that, because it really isn't that truly hard of a fight. the fact that Roxas has 2 freaking Keyblades, like, he has like 2? Like, he has 2 Keyblades and he has 2 Keyblades in this fight. And just trying to use them, especially at this point in the game, is friggin' bad. Like, that alone is why this fight against Axel is high up on the list. I think that's all I need to say about this fight. And to number 2, we have the Simic final boss from Kingdom Hearts 2. And that fight, that if you're talking about best boss fights in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, that is one that always comes up at most of the time on the top of the list, honestly. Even after Kingdom Hearts 3 at this moment, still at the top of the list, and it really hard to see why. You know what I mean? This is pretty much a definition of what a final boss should be. It should be challenging and make you make strategy and trying to do like different aspects, like with the space sequence, you're on the ship and you're trying to destroy a lot of this machine's engines and all that, which is actually pretty fun and unique. But in the real valley, it's like everything you learn from the game, and which is something that really any final boss should do is make sure that you learn everything you need to know about the game, and it pretty much buys what you learned about the entirety of the game. And it's definitely challenging, especially on preview mode. Oh my god, it took me a while to get through this fight. But it is pretty difficult, pretty challenging, and memorable enough, especially with we have Riki by your side, and the emotions that are on stake here, and after replaying this game times, this fight its difficulty and challenge one I always love coming back to. Now I'm sure you're wondering, what fight could top the final SM fight, which you say was a phenomenal fight? Well, another final boss top that is the Master Xehanort final boss from Kingdom Hearts 3. Yes, despite Kingdom Hearts 3 not being my favorite of the franchise, it's my second behind Kingdom Hearts 2 if you saw my ranking of all the games. This fight is just, like, originally was obviously Simmons was my favorite, then this fight game was like, wow, like, this fight is just amazing. Amazing. And it's truly one of the most challenging things in any Kingdom Hearts game, probably any game in general I played in recent memory. Yeah, especially when you're trying to dodge attacks and how much you can really hit, but especially that final portion, like, man, that gets pretty difficult and pretty rough. I mean that in the best possible way. Especially when you end up coming like an anti-form and you have to try to dodge attacks, you can't heal and all that, so that definitely is it's very challenging and very memorable in all the best ways. Of course, how you end up beating him is freaking awesome as well. Just exciting how satisfying it is to finally be Master Xehanort. Pretty much all the stuff I mentioned around in terms of memorability, in terms of challenging, amazement, and one I always can rethink and remember the most. And all those reasons is why the Master Xehanort Battle Boss from Kingdom Hearts 3 is my favorite boss fight in the entirety of the Kingdom Hearts series. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed my top 10 favorite boss battles from the Kingdom Hearts franchise. I would love to know comments down below if you play the Kingdom Hearts games. I'd love to know what are your favorite boss battles from the entirety of the franchise. Feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. I'll have more lists and reviews coming guys away very soon. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I honestly truly do appreciate it. If you haven't already, be sure to like this video, be sure to share, be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow all my social media sites. All the description down below. I am Cinnamon Mold from Cinnamon Mold Reviews. I'll see you next time, and as always, stay cooler. Everybody, peace.